please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. You're watching Power Breakfast on CNBC TV18. Well, Fortis is one stock that will be in focus today as the company will report the Q4 numbers today, as well as the details of Luthra and Luthra report will also be out. Ekta joins us with more details on that. Ekta, good morning. Over to you.
Hi, thanks for that. Well, like you mentioned, it is going to be an important day for Fortis today. Now, we do understand that obviously, as per the schedule which was detailed by the board earlier, the due diligence by the 4 parties which are interested in the company has now been completed. That got completed yesterday. And today, what is going to happen is basically the Q4 numbers are going to be released by the company, plus the details of the Luthra and Luthra report. Now, remember that the Luthra and Luthra report is basically an internal investigation by the company in order to assess all the ongoings or all of the wrongdoings with regards to possible siphoning of funds by promoters and all of the details which were largely probably concerns on the balance sheet as well as the P&L. So if in case there are, they'll all be out in the open today, and that will be a good heads up to assess how grave the situation might be and whether or not that's probably going to impact any sort of any sort of bids which might come in, final bids which might come in with by the bidders, and that's expected on the 14th of June. So earnings is one thing. Earnings is probably expected to be a little sluggish this time simply because of the kind of operational issues they've been working, the working capital crunch that they've been facing. So that is one thing, but the most important thing will be the Luthra and Luthra report and what kind of bearing that would have in terms of the bids.
All right, Ekta, thanks so much for that. Well, moving on then, former Reserve Bank of India Governor Y.V. Reddy has come down on the government and the RBI for the 13,000 crore rupee fraud at PNB. He also said that, in fact, he also commented on the high non-performing assets in the banking system. Y.V. Reddy, who was the RBI governor from 2003 to 2008, said, and I quote, "Taxpayers who have entrusted their money to the government-owned banks should be asking the government to explain why, as the custodian of their money, it failed to prevent the fraud." End quote.
In fact, speaking at the Shivaji University in Kolhapur on the accumulation of non-performing assets, Reddy said, and I quote, "We are now facing accumulated problems, not something that came up suddenly. The problems look big because it is accumulated and not revealed for several years after the global financial crisis." End quote. Now, he also said that banks have been encouraged to lend to infrastructure which was not their core competence, and so the accumulated problems came to the open in 2013-14 and in subsequent years as well.
Well, Max Life decides not to pursue a deal to buy a stake in IDBI Federal Life. Aditya Birla Life is now the sole bidder for the asset, worth around 6,000 crore rupees. Yash Jain joins in with more details. Yash, tell us, what has dissuaded Max Life from this acquisition, and does this mean that Aditya Birla is likely to get this deal now?
Before making it official on the exchanges, the chairman of Max Group had already expressed the intention on CNBC TV18 that if the conditions placed by the company are not met by IDBI Bank and Federal Bank, then they will walk out of the deal, and exactly what they've done. They've informed the exchanges that they've decided to walk out of this acquisition deal of IDBI Federal Life Insurance. They've also dropped the plan of raising 5,000 crore, which they were intending to do so to support this particular acquisition. What were these deals? On the bancassurance front, they were seeking an exclusive bancassurance tie-up for a period of 10 years. Also, productivity guarantee on this bancassurance tie-up, as well as indemnification if these promises are not met. Now, IDBI, I'm given to understand that IDBI Bank and Federal Bank did not come back to Max with a proper response on these particular demands, exactly what triggered Max's decision to walk out of this particular deal. Coming on to your second question on the Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance, of course, things as they stand at the moment, Aditya Birla is the sole bidder in this particular contest to acquire IDBI Federal Life, but these conditions, what I'm given to understand, are unlikely that IDBI Bank and Federal Bank will be able to put them on the paper in the form of an agreement. And if that happens, then maybe Aditya Birla Sun Life will also not agree to buy IDBI Federal Life Insurance, because one needs to understand that these are the most crucial and value accretive elements that one is looking for in this particular deal.
Thank you, Yash, for that. But shifting focus to the things that we all are looking forward to, and that is the monsoons. Now, the southwest monsoon makes a steady progress up north. India's west coast actually saw heavy rainfall over the weekend. Here is a weather report from SkyMet.
Hi, this is Bhumika and you're watching SkyMet Weather Report. Mumbai, which has been facing intense rains, will see reduction in rains and only moderate showers will occur over here. Meanwhile, the offshore trough is seen extending along the west coast, which will continue to give moderate to heavy rains over Kerala, coastal Karnataka, Goa and South Maharashtra coast. The well-marked low-pressure area is seen over northeast Bay of Bengal off Bangladesh coast. Thus, moderate to heavy rains with isolated heavy showers are expected over northeast India as well as Odisha and Chhattisgarh. West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand will see light to moderate rains. In central India, due to the presence of a cyclonic circulation over north-central Madhya Pradesh, light to moderate rains will be seen over Madhya Pradesh, North Chhattisgarh and Vidarbha. Gujarat may also see some rainfall activity. Up north, dust storm and thundershowers are expected over few parts of Rajasthan and West Haryana. Isolated pockets of Punjab may also see some weather activity. The weather in Delhi is expected to remain hot. Hills including Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand will see light rains due to the presence of a western disturbance. At the end, let us have a look at the temperatures across the country. Delhi would witness its day maximum temperature at 39 degrees Celsius, Mumbai 30 degrees Celsius and Chennai 38 degrees Celsius. Thanks for watching SkyMet Weather Report.
Well, time to slip into a short break. Up next, we'll tell you all the cues coming in from the derivatives market.
Welcome back. You're watching Power Breakfast on CNBC TV18. Well, let's go across to Mangalam Malu, who's standing by to tell us how the cues are looking like from the F&O space. Good morning, Mangalam. Over to you.
Good morning, Anisha. So, on Friday's trading session, while the Nifty recovered almost all the losses that it saw intraday as well as at the open, there was some widening in the discount that the Nifty current month futures are trading at. So, it was trading at around 3 points discount earlier, and now it has widened to about 20 points, telling you that, yes, there was some selling. Then, post the markets closed, the data came by and confirmed the fact that, yes, the FIs went ahead and sold about 853 crores in index futures out there. They unwound close to around 1,400 long contracts and added 11,000 short contracts. So what basically happened was that the FII long exposure is now closer to the series low mark of close to around 41%. The SGX Nifty indicates a green uptick. Let's see at what point does short covering kick in, or maybe do we see further downside? Because in index options too, the FIs, they bought about 2,800 crores in index options and they sought a lot of protection and some capping at the upside. So if you take a look at long puts added, they were close to 36,000 as against long calls, which were 18,000. So in a sense, 2 puts bought per call. And if you take a look at the short additions, close to 13,000 calls were added on the short side as compared to 6,500. So in a sense, the FIIs bought 2 puts per call and sold 2 calls per put. In terms of active strikes, 10,600 and 10,700 put continue to see some action. Perhaps there could be some support at the 10,550 to 10,600 range. That is something we need to keep an eye out on. If the markets move higher, there is a lot of shorts in the system which will take it further. Jet Airways, that stock entered the F&O ban. A lot of stocks which were in focus buzzing. The pharmaceutical stocks in particular on Friday's trading session saw a lot of shorts running for cover. Sun Pharma, Lupin, Dr. Reddy's. And when a Rajnikant film releases, even the PVR shorts ran for cover. That stock went higher. The one stock that saw a lot of short build up, that was Castrol, underperformed on Friday's trading session and saw some short addition. All right, Mangalam, thanks so much for that. Well, on that note, we'll wrap up on Power Breakfast. We'll leave you with the picks of our bullseye contestants on day 1 of this week. Stay tuned. Bazaar Morning Call comes up next.
Our first call is a buy call on looping for target of 870, stop loss 784. Second buy would be on Glenmark for a target of 586, stop loss 542. Third buy would be on MGL for a target of 914, stop loss 825. And final call would be a buy call on VIP Industries for a target of 474, stop loss 414.
My first call is a buy call on BPL. The stock's closing price was 56 rupees 50 paisa. It could be bought for a target of 60 and a stop loss of 53 should be strictly kept on the stock. My second call would be a buy call on EKC. The stock's closing price was 49.90. It could be bought for a target of 53.5 and a stop loss of 46 should be kept on the stock. My third call would be again a buy call on BEML. The stock's closing price was 904 rupees. It could be bought for a target of 920 and a stop loss of 890 should be kept in the stock. My final call would be again a buy call on Manali Petro. The stock closed at 48 rupees 75 paisa on Friday, and it could be bought for a target of 52 and a stop loss of 45 should be kept on the stock.
My first pick is Tata Motors. I buy it with a day target of 335 and a stop loss of 295. Second, GSPL. I buy it with a day target of 200 and a stop loss of 180. Third, Bharat Forge. I buy it with a day target of 720 and a stop loss of 640. Fourth, Indian Hotels. I buy it with a day target of 150 and a stop loss of 135.